I would say 100%. I think what it does is or at least for me, this mastermind took me from feeling very much in the dark and like I didn't really know the direction we should be going to having a very clear pathway with actually actionable steps. I think there are so many kind of coaches and people out there that give you waffle and no actual actionable things, whereas I feel like I've been able to come away from this with a to-do list essentially that I can now actually implement in our business. So I would say, yeah, definitely go for it.
Millie, so cool to chat. Obviously attended the mastermind yesterday.
Yeah.
Headline thoughts to start off with?
Honestly, it was just quite refreshing to see a take on content that was logical and made sense. I think it's always been quite a mystery to me in that it's something that seems very like smoke and mirrors, like you post something and who knows what the outcome of that's going to be. So it was really nice to see something that was, you know, had a logical process to it and made a lot of sense as to why you might do the things that you do. So yeah, really valuable.
So useful, thanks. And just quickly before we get into the actual the mastermind itself, tell everyone a bit more about what you're up to, what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. So I run a maths tuition company, do it completely online. We've got a team of 15 who run stuff for us back in the UK, whilst me and my co-founder travel the world, which is really cool.
Unreal. And how is traveling the world? Just to give a bit of FOMO to everyone. Honestly,
it's the best thing. It just feels like so much freedom to be able to, you know, be here in Bali, doing what we love doing. So yeah, it's awesome.
Amazing. And like, what do you feel like traveling the world has given you in terms of being able to run a business remotely?
Yeah, honestly, it feels like I've escaped, and I know that sounds dramatic, but like you end up being in a place full of so many inspiring people that you get to meet on literally a daily basis. So many other people doing really cool stuff. And not to mention that you get to do it in literal paradise as opposed to waking up in rainy England. It's so much more inspiring, and I think it allows you to then be kind of more creative and better at whatever it is you do. So,
I love that. And obviously, like before the mastermind, we get into like what have you done before the tutoring business?
Sure. So I used to run a coffee shop and a chocolate factory in the UK. So that was kind of born out of COVID. We sold £1 million worth of chocolate in a couple of years, which was pretty cool. So I've had a bit of kind of experience on the social media side of things, but honestly, a lot of that came from just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what stuck. So yeah, that was very fun. But honestly, we decided that although it was a great business, it made us very stuck location-wise. It's very hard to run a big old warehouse with a load of people and kind of not physically be there. So yeah, it was really fun, but getting to do this, in my opinion, is better.
Amen, like exactly the same. And then going into like content within your business, obviously like doing £1 million in a chocolate business is not the easiest thing in the world, right? But actually like going into this new business, why did you see content as being like such an interesting topic for you to look into? Yeah,
sure. So I think the thing for me is because we're an online business, one of the obstacles we come across is people not knowing much about us. When you've got a physical storefront, people can literally walk past you, walk in and see exactly what it is you do before they want to buy from you. Being online, we felt that lack of that, but I've just not really known how to actually put that out there and show people what it is we do without just being like sale. Whereas obviously, when we had physical premises, people could see what they were going to buy before they bought it. And that's just been a bit of a challenge for me, and I felt quite stuck of just, how do I show people?
Amazing. And then as a business owner, what challenges did you feel that you had with content?
Well, I'll be honest, I'm just generally so busy. Like, there's a lot to do. I run the whole operations of the business, which means having oversight of everything that's going on. I think for me, because I felt like our content has had no direction to go in, it felt like something that I would literally just spend hours on and get nothing in return. And I was missing kind of a structure of being able to go, right, I'm sitting down and I'm doing this. For me, it just felt like, a bit of a mystery as to what I should be doing.
And that's what I love about working with people like yourself, Millie, is like you're such an established business owner, like you've achieved so much in the business world, but then there's this horrible content thing, which is like almost this nagging thing in your brain, which is, I think every business owner has it, where they know they should be doing content, but that like roadmap and that clear direction of like, wake up, do this, systemize it in this way. And hopefully that was where working with me helped a little bit, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think for me before, it felt like I should just wake up and be like, right, well, today I'm doing content, but I had no idea what that looks like. And sure, I could go around filming bits of my day without any direction, but I didn't feel like that necessarily was useful. What I really took from the mastermind that we did was having a reason behind all of the content that I'm posting, and I've understood now how to connect that to what my audience needs to see. Now there's a structure. I know I can literally put that in my calendar and be like, great, at this time I need to do this part, at this time I need to do this part. And it's just, I'm a person that likes structure. That's how I managed to get so many things done.
Sure.
And so for me, it's meant that now I know what clear, actionable steps I need to take, rather than just this like content that, you know.
Wake up and film your breakfast. It's slightly different vibe, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So cool, amazing. And like in terms of, because I'm sure, you know, people listening, we're talking about the mastermind, like what actual tangible bits, if you can remember, did you really, to put you on the spot here, what tangible parts did you take away from it, which you're keen to implement in the business? Yeah,
sure. So I think the biggest thing for me is it was figuring out how to solve my clients' problems through content and kind of portray that for them in content, so that when they actually come to buy from us, they're already pre-sold on what it is that they're going to be buying. And for me, that's a big thing, because our business is very like sales intensive. We spend a lot of time on sales calls. So if somebody comes in and they can already kind of have all those questions answered by the content, then that's amazing. So I think for me, realizing that it's not just a vehicle to kind of show off what you do, but also actually serves another purpose. That was really cool.
I love that. That's so useful. And like a quick tangent on that is that I think people, like business owners, are so keen to, they're so aware they need to make content, but at the same time, they don't know what the reason for it is. And no matter how established you are, it's just like, okay, content is actually just a bit of marketing, and that marketing, if it can solve a problem, then it's like a little tester to show people what you can actually do. And that's what I love working with you guys, is you're amazing at solving people's problems, and it's just putting that onto a bit of content, putting everything in your head, no matter if you're an agency owner, a coach, a freelancer, like what the skill is in your head, and then putting it on a video, which I think hopefully gives a much easier structure than 100%. Okay, I've got to film and tell them what my daily routine is and do all that thing, which is a lot, which is what people think you have to be an influencer. I think we established that pretty quickly, that it's not about influencing, it's about actually just solving a problem in a video, right?
100%. And I think that's honestly where we were a bit stuck, because our business isn't really like an influencery type business. It's a service that goes out to an audience that aren't necessarily into kind of, you know, day in a life, here's my breakfast. So that was where we were quite stuck of like, okay, we want to build this content machine. Everybody knows how important content is, but what should that look like? And I think now we've come away with an idea of what that should be for us.
Nice. And I guess like last question is, I'm sure some people are watching and they're thinking like, should I get involved with Sol? Should I, you know, use him for content? Should I use him for my business to use the funneling term? Like how do you feel like that? What would you say to someone listening like that?
I would say 100%. I think what it does is or at least for me, this mastermind took me from feeling very much in the dark and like I didn't really know the direction we should be going, to having a very clear pathway with actually actionable steps. I think there are so many kind of coaches and people out there that give you waffle and no actual actionable things, whereas I feel like I've been able to come away from this with a to-do list essentially that I can now actually implement in our business. So I would say, definitely go for it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Millie.
No worries.